If you have got debt right now, I need you to hear this. The Bible never calls debt a sin, but it does call something else out. And that part, we skip a lot more than we should. A lot of Christians carry two things at once: real debt and a quiet shame about it, like it means they fail spiritually. Some of that shame comes from teachings that treat all debt as sin. But that's not actually what scripture says. And when we get the diagnosis wrong, we either drown in guilt we don't need to carry, or we miss the real warning the text is giving us. The Bible is speaking in Proverbs 22 and verse 7. The borrower is a slave to the lender. This is a description of a dynamic and not a moral verdict. Nowhere does scripture list debt itself among sins. The warning isn't debt equal to sin. Its debt creates dependency and risk. Proverbs consistently warns against presumption, that is, borrowing against a future you can't guarantee or entering obligations without counting the cost, echoing the wisdom in Luke 14:28. Though that passage is about something else specifically, the principle of counting costs applies broadly. The real issue isn't the debt itself, it's whether you enter it with eyes open, a repayment plan, and an appropriate caution, or out of presumption and impulse. I'd like you to take note of three things. Number one, debt is a risk category, not a sin category. Scripture treats it like a warning label, not a commandment violation. Number two, not all debt carries equal risk. A mortgage with a clear plan is a different animal than high interest debt taken on impulsively. And thirdly, the real spiritual question isn't, do I have debt? It's, am I being presumptuous or prudent about my obligation right now? Three things I'd like you to do this week. List your current debts, and next to each, honestly note, was this presumption or prudence? For any debt without repayment plan, write one this week, even a rough plan. Thirdly, read Proverbs 22:7 and Proverbs 22 verse 3 together. Quick note, this is biblical and educational content, not personalized financial or legal advice. For decisions about your debt payoff strategy or specific situation, talk to a licensed financial advisor. Finally, debt isn't the sin the Bible names. Presumption is closer to it. The real question isn't whether you owe something, it's whether you owe it with a plan. If you were ever taught all debt is sin, I'd love to know. Did that teaching help you or just added shame? Drop it in the comments and subscribe. See you next week for another Money Myth. Thank you.